Welcome to Everstong. I'm Jessica.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Calvin.
My name is Jasmine and I am the Director of Operations here at Everstong. Here we strive to provide low-cost cameras and drones for new and beginning camera users who are not in search of the highest end equipment to learn on. Since we are able to sell our cameras and drones for a lower cost with little competition and maintain and even increase our PQ rating, it gives us the flexibility to invest in research and development early on and provide great employee benefits to increase productivity. Company strategy is to acquire and keep a low-cost leadership competitive advantage for both AC cameras and UAV drones. For our AC cameras, we have a PQ rating of about 7.5 with 3 camera models and 5 extra performance features. For our drones, we have a PQ rating of about 7.6 with 2 drone models and 6 extra performance features. Our strategic target focused on a target market of first-generation AC cameras and UAV drone users with basic products with few premium features, since they are a little more price sensitive and don't require all the extras for their products. We also put a lot of money towards marketing early on so that when they research our product, it will stand out amongst our competitors. Since Asia Pacific and Latin America are the most price sensitive regions, we tilted our marketing towards them. We also invested a lot of money into research and development early on to lower cost in the long run to get a sustainable cost leadership advantage.
I'm going to talk about our company history and performance. So we started out in year 6 and 7 by spending a lot on research and development and robotics early on in an attempt to lower costs in the long run. As a result, our company earnings and credit rating dropped significantly during these times of hopes of making it up later. As you can see in our graphs, we have image rating, earnings per share, stock price, and return on equity. As you can see, our earnings per share and return on equity dropped significantly low, actually in the negatives, the first couple of years, but as time went on, we increased in all aspects and our image rating stayed consistent throughout. We didn't meet some of our investor expectations based upon our per share measure. We were still pretty happy.
Thank you, Jasmine. Next, I'm going to tell you about our top management team. At the head of our company, we have Kelvin. He is our CEO and excels in editing as well as putting ideas together, which help us to create a well-rounded company. He does lack in the public speaking aspect, but we have made up for that by hiring Jasmine as our director. Jasmine excels in researching, reliability, as well as public speaking. She does lack a little bit of knowledge in analytics. And then I am Jessica, and I am the manager of operations. My strengths are scheduling, organization, and writing, and my weakness is also public speaking. Our organizational structure, team dynamics, and ability to execute. We are very good at sharing opinions and listening to ideas, as well as adjusting our process as needed so that we can adapt to unforeseen changes. And lastly, allocating tasks based on our strengths and weaknesses so that we have our best people doing what they excel at. The industry and description and general environment. For cameras, the industry is mostly made up by robots. They manufacture the cameras, but they still have actual people in the customer service department so that people who are uncomfortable with this amount of technology still feel comfortable buying our product and don't think that we are completely owned and operated by robots. As for the drone sector, drones have been growing quite a bit the past few years, which means that there is a higher demand for them, which allows us to use extra income to invest in better technology, which helps us create a better product. Next up, we have Kelvin, who's going to talk about our competitors, as well as the overall competitive advantage.
Here we have our 5 forces and task environment slide. We're focusing on the drone industry this time. And for the 5 forces here, for the threat of new entrants, this is a pretty easy industry to enter if you have the necessary capital, so the threat can be pretty high. But the advantage that we established companies have is that we already spent a lot of the infrastructure and R&D spending, and we have an advantage in those areas, so that kind of reduces the threat somewhat. And the second thing we're going to be looking at here is the bargaining power of suppliers. That threat is low because it looks like the suppliers here are pretty competitive. They reliably deliver material at low prices, and we can lower that cost further by doing R&D research. And the next one we're going to be looking at here is the bargaining power of buyers. Like individual consumer buyers, they don't have that much leverage other than choosing to buy from a different brand. But it's a take it or leave it price, so they're not going to be able to bargain directly with us to get a better price if they already want the product. But there is another threat from third party resellers, like other retailers that buy stock from us and sell it to the consumer. If they're a big channel, and if we don't give enough discounts to them, we're gonna have fewer suppliers next year. I mean fewer retailers next year willing to buy a product and resell it to consumers, since they're a large supply channel that a lot of consumers are exposed to. That could pose a threat to our sales. We can migrate that somewhat by offering bigger discounts, and we can also use market share. If our market share gets bigger, the retailers are going to have to buy us anyway, no matter what our terms are, because we're so popular. And we can also offer them bigger discounts, and we can have a retail recruitment budget to help keep them on our side. And the next one we're going to be looking at is the threat of substitute products and services. We're actually the threat in this case, because drones and cameras, they can substitute for other products like older cameras, and like in surveying, UAV drones can substitute for bigger planes, stuff like that. So we're actually threatening other industries, and there's not going to be much to threaten us unless they invent a way to teleport cameras or roll over something. So there's not much of a threat in that direction. And finally, the fifth one is going to be rivalry along existing competitors. In this case, the threat is pretty high, because whatever we can do, they can duplicate too. The only clear advantage we have right now is our previous reputation in the past along consumers, and also our R&D spending. As long as we keep spending on R&D and our competitors lag behind on that, unless they can go back in time, they can't really do anything about it. And that's it. This is our strategy and main competitors slide. Strategy that we started out with was low cost leadership. We're aiming to have lower prices than our competitor and lower our costs, so that we can outcompete our competitors on price. And to that end, we're spending a lot on R&D to lower our component costs, employee training to lower production costs, robotics to lower production costs further, especially when we get up to scale. And we're also doing lower prices, of course. And as time went on, we found that the more upscale market was more lucrative. So we kind of switched to a dollar advantage strategy, and that has had mixed results, but we're doing okay from it. And our main competitor, according to our original strategy, is Company I. That's ITFT. And they're our main competitor because, as you can see from the last slide, they're located in the same space as our original strategy. They were aiming for low cost leadership by selling products at a low price, and hope that gains them more market share and more profit. So that's our competitor. And so they were closest to us in all 4 regions, but ever since we drifted toward the new strategy, we've drifted away from Company I for now. And now it's time to present our intra-firm value chain. And these are all the points where we can, within our company, where we can add value for our consumers. The first one is going to be firm infrastructure. Our strategy is to lower costs via R&D spending to lower component costs. We also have employee training, so when we get up to scale, we can lower the cost of manufacturing per unit. And we also have robotics, so we can lower that manufacturing cost per unit even further. And now we have HR management. So to keep our labor costs down, we're going to use employee training to increase efficiency. We also have extra employee benefits like an employee cafeteria. Not only does that improve our image rating, it also improves efficiency, so that lowers our labor costs further. And robotics can also help with that. And because of that lower cost per unit, we can free up resources to invest elsewhere, or if we wanted, we could lower the prices of our products to try and capture more market share, but that might not be good for our profits, so we're looking at that. And technology development, like I said before, all that R&D spending, it lowers component costs, and as a good side benefit, it also increases our PQ rating without us having to spend on extra features. And if we did choose to add on extra features, it lowered the costs of adding those on, so that's also another nice bonus. Procurement, we can lower the costs of materials without impacting our PQ rating by simply spending on R&D. It's like magic. The next up here is inbound logistics. In our first few years, we didn't have enough cash on hand to buy all the components and pay employees what they needed, so we had to take out short-term loans and pay interest on them. We can get rid of that interest cost by keeping enough cash on hand, so we don't have to take out any short-term loans. And we did that, and it improved our margin a little bit. And as a bonus, we also earn interest on that cash on hand, so that's pretty nice. And next up is operations. We spend heavily on R&D, training, and robotics, so we can lower the costs of operations without compromising on product quality. And next here is outbound logistics. In this case, all we have is delivery costs and tariffs and exchange rates. We can help delivery costs by getting up to scale. That helps, that lowers costs a little bit. But for tariffs and exchange rates, we can't do anything about tariffs other than aim at the markets without tariffs. And for exchange rates, all we can do is look at predicted exchange rates and tailor a strategy to target regions with advantage exchange rates. And second to last here but not least is marketing and sales. And like every other company, we try to spend the right amount on marketing so we can promote our products. And as a bonus, with our increased PQ rating and our spending on image stuff, that also boosts our spending on employee social welfare, that also increases our image rating. That gives a bump further to our marketing efforts. And we also price our product competitively so we can attract more consumers. In fact, because of our increasing PQ rating at no extra cost other than R&D spending, we've been able to slowly increase our prices without reducing profits, which is pretty nice. And finally, least but not last, for service, we offer a good quality warranty to attract consumers. Hello and welcome to our barrel analysis and corporate social responsibility slide. And here for valuable stuff we have our high R&D spending, our robotic manufacturing lines, and a reputation for lower costs. Those are all valuable things that help differentiate us from competitors. And they also reduce the threats of high costs from suppliers and high PQ ratings of competitors. They also reduce the threat of higher labor costs and manufacturing costs, and the threat of not having enough manufacturing capability and an inferior market position compared to your competitors. For rare stuff, it's our reputation for lower cost but decent quality products. Other firms have higher quality products at higher prices, lower quality products at lower prices. But if from our market position, nobody has a decent quality products at low prices that we do, which helps boost our image rating and helps boost sales too. For stuff that other people can't intimidate, the only thing that we have that other companies can't duplicate with time is a high and suspend R&D spending. We started early, and other firms appear to have started spending later mostly. So unless they manage to go back in time and change the decisions, there's nothing they can do about that. So as long as we keep spending, we don't have to worry. And organize to exploit. All these advantages up here, we've been using them to boost image rating so we can get more sales. And we also have lower costs and higher product quality from that, so that helps boost our sales too. And we've been doing the marketing spending necessary to promote all of that, so that really helps. And for corporate social responsibility here, we provide excellent benefits to employees, like that cafeteria I mentioned before. We audit a supplier chain to ensure good working conditions, and we spend a little bit of money on green energy. That pays off because it increases employee productivity, and it also boosts our image rating. And welcome to our relative costs and willingness to pay slide. We'll start off with relative costs first. From our calculations, it looks like we have a advantage of about 3.8% compared to the industry average. You can see all the stuff in our index, in our appendix. And our labor component and warranty costs, because of our spending on product quality and efficiency, they're lower than the industry average per unit, which helps our wedge a lot. It's pretty nice. But all the other costs are around the industry averages. And for willingness to pay for both cameras and surrounds, if we compare ourselves to our first closest competitor, Company I, or ITFT, Everstong is better suited in 3 of the 5 main qualities. And we think these factors best convey in what consumers look for in our products. So we're targeting first generation users, they're middle age, and they're also tech savvy.
For our strengths, we were able to maintain a low-cost structure throughout all the years. We were able to pay off our debt early on so that our ending cash flow was high, and we were able to increase our PQ rating throughout the years while also keeping our costs low.
A weakness that we encountered is that towards the end, we went for more of a dual advantage strategy, which our overall strategy was low-cost leadership, and that kind of messed us up, and we didn't succeed well in either when we tried to do that. So next time, we would like to stick to the same strategy throughout.
And in recommendations, if we were to play this game again in the future, is that we need to stick with our original strategy. We kept trying for a mid-tier market of premium products at lower prices, and that worked out very well for us, but not as well as we could have done. And second recommendation is that we should have done more research on the industry. We could have looked at the relationships mentioned in the user manual more and try to use that to figure out how everything affects everything else. And the third recommendation we will make for ourselves is that we need to dedicate more group time to discuss everything together so we can create better group strategies.
Thank you for joining us at Everstong. That concludes our presentation.